So in the previous class, we have seen the reusability of subroutine, but I have added only this piece of code. So let me finish this one. So before going to write this, just I'll give a quick recap on this. So we have started a concept called modularization technique, which is used to modularize the code, meaning it can be reusable and it can be easy to read, and it will divide the main program into subprograms or small blocks. So as a part of this concept, we have seen includes or include programs, then subroutines. So in this subroutine, so here we have a data, like we have a structure with two fields, name and city, and user want to see multiple records of these two columns, like name and city. So here there are three records. So first record is A, Hyderabad, second one is this one, and third one is this one. So earlier I have written this code, but if you see, every time I'm repeating these four statements for every record. Like if I want to insert the second record, again I'm repeating four statements. Similar way for the next record. So instead of repeating again and again same set of code, we can use modulation technique. So once you create, we can reuse it instead of writing again. So that is the reason we are using this moderation technique. So I have used a perform statement. This is the form name, like perform name. And here I have three parameters. One is internal table. So internal table can be declared with the tables, or we can use changing parameter also, because here it will act as a output. So either we can use it as an internal table, or we can use changing parameter also. And two, input parameters. So every time I'm inserting name and city. So input parameters we can declare with the help of using keyword. So once I write the perform name, if I double click on it, it will create implementation part like this. And here I will add my logic. So our work area, we have a work area, that is work area data. So every time I will assign the value, what I'm getting into this parameter, I will assign to the work area. So work area data, first field name is name, and what I'm getting from this actual parameter. So what I'm getting from this actual parameter, I will update to this work area with the help of this formal parameter. So here I'll give P name, and similar way, second field also, city. And here I will update with the help of second parameter city. And once it is getting into this work area, we will append to internal table. So append work area data to, so here what is our internal table name? PIT data. So this internal table you have to take. And finally, I'll display the data, right? Work area data name and work area data city. So what I'm getting inside to this work area, I will display it with the help of write statement. Let's save it. So I'll comment this code, and for the time being, I will comment these all also. So as of now, only perform statement is there. The previous code which I have used, everything I have commented. Perform statement and perform statement related form statement is there. So let me save, check, activate, and I'll extract. So now, right now, only one record is there. Like only one perform statement is there. If you have seen, so only one record is inserted. Now, what is my requirement? I need to insert three records. So three records. Instead of writing same statements, I have used this perform statement. Similar way, to insert two more records, I will write two more perform statements. Just here I'll change the inputs. So here second one is B and city is Y. Third one is C and this is Hyderabad. Okay. So I'll say check, activate and I'll execute. See, three records are inserted. If you have observed, I haven't written the logic this one again and again. Just one time I have written and I am passing different inputs with the help of this perform statement. But still it is showing three records. What I have given as an input, it is saved in the output. But I haven't written this code again and again. If you see three times I have written, but here only one time I have written. So how it works, we'll see in the debugging mode. So I'll put breakpoint here, here, and here. So I'll choose desktop 3. So let's see first what is IT data. So initially it is 0. So 0 records are there, 2 columns are there. So the 2 columns are nothing but name and city, which I have given as a structure. So it is empty right now. Now the indicator is showing a 20-second line. Suppose if I start execute single step, it will go inside of this form statement. Right now, if you see 22 is there. So this related code I have written in form statement here. Here I have written. Only one time I have written. And if I start executing this one, if I click on single step, directly it will jump from 22nd line to 57. So it came inside of this form statement in the 57th line, which is inside whatever I have written the logic, it has jumped here. After 20-second, directly it came back to this state. And still internal table is 0, right? Mm, Even IT data also 0. If you see, it is 0 only. As of now, it is 0. Now, I'll take work area data name, city. And similar way, what I'm passing inputs, same thing I will specify here. So P name, P city. How these values are filled here, whatever I have given the hard coded values, those are filled and we are passing to this work area. So first, which name I have given in the perform statement A, and what is the city I have given Hyderabad. So these two fields data I am passing to the work area. And if I execute this one, see one record got inserted here, A Hyderabad. And if I go inside of this internal table also, it is filled with same. And similar way, if I execute, so now second record. Now I'm moving on to the second record. So second record is nothing but 23rd line, second perform statement. In the second perform statement, what is the name I have given? B. City, Vizag. So still these names are not filled. If you see P name, P city is empty and work area names are similar as it is. I believe I haven't written, okay. Here I haven't written clear statement. So that is the reason these are not clear. But we have to write clear statement. I'll write afterwards. Now, if I click on execute like single step, this perform statement will go to this form only because both are having same name. If you see, first perform name is fill data, second perform name fill data, third perform name was fill data. And if you see form name fill data. So I have given same perform name. Just I'm changing the values, input values. So that is the reason I no need to write the logic again and again because same perform I'm using. If I write one-time logic, I can reuse for many input values. Because with the same subroutine only, I'm passing the input values, various input values. Let me explain this. Now, if you see what is P name, B, P city, Vizag. So how we got these values? From the second perform statement. So from second perform statement, which values I'm given, those are we are taking dynamically here. So that is the reason here I haven't written hard coded value, because same form statement, like same um, implementation code, I want to use for multiple perform statements. So that is the reason I have given a parameter like pname and here pcity. So it will take dynamic values. Whatever we are giving in the perform statement, these two will be hold. Earlier, it was taken A and Hyderabad. Now it is changed to B and Vizag. So as of now, this work area still it is having the first record only, because this 61th line is not yet executed. So if I click on single step, now see work area data name has changed. Similar way, 62 line, if it is executed, then it will be updated the latest record value. As of now, it is Hyderabad. Now see, it is changed to Vizag. And if I execute, internal table is having two records. And similar way, if I want to pass the third record, so again, I'm using one more perform statement. In this perform statement, what is the perform name? Fill data. So same name. Three times I have used same name. Just I'm passing the various values, like different values. So if I click on execute again, it will go to the form state here. Again, whatever I'm giving the values, so those values will pass dynamically to this work area. If I click on single step, now see P name PCT has changed. And if I execute this one, see this name city also changed. If I execute one more step, internal table is having three records. So in this way, we can reuse the code. Whenever we want to reuse the code, we can use this subroutines. So instead of writing same blocks of statements, see, if I want to write, I need to write like four statements every time for every record. But instead of this, only I have written one time, and I'm reusing this four set here I write clear statements. So I'm using same set of code for the other records as well. So in this way, we can reuse the subroutine. So instead of writing this much big logic, we can reduce the lines of code. So our performance, so the program performance also very faster. And if we want to read the code also, it will be smaller and it can be easy to read the code. So that is the reason we can use this moderation techniques. Whenever it requires, we can make use of it. And so these subroutines are two types. Internal subroutine, the other one is external subroutine. So internal subroutine is nothing but till now, which subroutine we have seen, that is internal. Internal meaning definition and implementation of subroutine. If it is existed in the same program, then it is called internal subroutine. If you see definition in the sense perform name, implementation in the sense where we can able to write the logic. So how can we write the logic in the subroutine? Within the form and end form will write the logic. So if a program is having a definition and implementation of the subroutine, then that subroutine we can call it as an internal subroutine. Within the same program, if we have perform statement and form statement, then we can call it as an internal subroutine. External subroutine is nothing but like suppose I have a same requirement where I can use the same set of this code. Like I need to use same set of this code in one of my another requirement. So at that time, if I instead of writing the same logic, I can reuse this form in my program. So that is possible with the external subroutine. Like include programs we can call into any other programs, right? Similar way, if you want to use same perform statement in another program, yes, that can be possible with the help of external subroutine. Suppose if I want to use in another program for include programs, there is no syntax. Directly I can call include name. Like I need to call include include name. Which program I have created, I can call into my program where it requires. But when it comes to subroutine, if you want to reuse the existing perform statement, we have a specific syntax. Perform perform name, because we need to give perform name, then we have to specify the program name, because in SA 38 we do have so many programs, and in every program it contains maximum subroutines, because everyone used to write the code with the help of modulation techniques. But how the system will be recognized, either I need to take perform field data from this program only, because in another program also they can maintain perform same perform name, but system will be confused which perform name should I take. So that is the reason we need to specify the program name also. So for this, I'll take one more program. Let me activate this one. Then, so this is so this I'll change the date. July 25, 2025, start subtotal. So select the type as executable program and save in your package. So here, suppose I have a same requirement. Let me open that program also. So I have a same requirement where I need to fetch or where I need to fill the data of name and city. So instead of writing the same code, like instead of writing this statement and also this logic, if you see this is small logic, suppose in real time, if we have big logic, so instead of writing this much big logic again, I can reuse this form statement with the help of external subroutine. So suppose if I want to use in my program, I can reuse this form with the help of external subroutine. So we have a specific syntax for this, that is perform name. So let's take perform. So here, which perform name is there? I need to take same perform name. And also for subroutines, we have two syntaxes. One subroutine is without parameters. The other subroutine is with parameters. Suppose in the existing program, if you don't have any parameters, directly you can call the perform name. In case if there are any parameters for the subroutine, even you have to call this parameters also. Otherwise, it will go to runtime error. Always remember how the subroutine is defined in the existing program. Similar way, we need to call into the new program. So in the existing program, how it is defined, similar way, we need to call into the new program. So first, let me take perform name. So go to the new program, perform, not here. here. Perform name. Then program name. So I need to specify within the brackets. So what is the name of the program for this perform statement? I have to copy it. So copy the program name and go to the new program. And this perform statement is having parameters. If it is having parameters, you need to take the parameters, same sequence. There is no difference. So take the parameters and here you need to specify. Let me save it. So I have given here perform name. This is the program name. And if it is having any parameters, you need to define the parameters also. First is one, let me write syntax, perform, perform name, then program name. Let me write program. Then parameters. If it is having any parameters, you can write parameters. So here I am writing only parameters. So whatever the parameters, if this perform statement is having, same thing you need to specify. Either it is using or changing or tables. Suppose if it doesn't have any parameters, till here your syntax. So first let me take this one. Without parameters, this one. The bottom one is with parameters. That's it. Syntax. So parameters in the sense using, changing, tables. So first will be tables, then using, finally changing. Now let me save. And if I check, I'll get an error. IT data is unknown because this internal table I have declared locally in this program. If I double click on IT data, see, IT data is a type of internal table of the structure. So this structure I have created locally here. So system, as I already told, local structure cannot be accessed from one program to another program. So again, I need to declare it. Suppose if you have used global structure, you don't need to write again same statement. Just you can declare the global structure name. So I'll copy till here and then go here. So here I have written like IT data I have used tables parameters, so system cannot be recognized because I have created this internal table locally. So here also I have defined internal table locally. In the main program, how it is defined, same way we need to define. But if I write like this, system cannot understand what is meant by TY data. Suppose if I comment this one, like in the program, I have given the statement for internal table, IT data, type TY, type table of TY data. Similarly, I have written here and I'm checking. See, TY data is unknown because this structure I created locally in the main program. So again, I need to create structure. Now I'll save it. I'll check it. No syntax errors because again, I have created the structure. So for this tables parameter, for this internal table, I created the structure and I have defined the internal table in the main program, how it is defined. Same way I need to define in the new program. Then save it, check it, activate it. If I execute, see, first record is there, A, because I have given only one input. What is the first record input? This one only. And if you observe, in this program, there is no write statement, there is no form statement, but still I am getting the output. You already know without write statement, we don't get output. But in this program, I have written only this code, but I'm able to see the first record. because whenever I click on execute, this perform statement will go to print this data. It will go to the form statement. How it will go to the form statement? So here already I have given the program name. So it will go to main program, and whatever the logic I have written in this form statement, that will be executed. Suppose if I want to get these two perform statements data, then same way I need to use in the new program so that I'll get remaining records also. So this is only for the first perform statement. Suppose if I want to get remaining, then I can write the remaining. So here I include program name. So this is one way of using external subroutine. So there is one more syntax. Instead of writing in bracket, we do have one more syntax like perform name, in program. In program, then you have to write the program. So this is the program. So either we can write like this within the bracket, you need to specify the program name, or else explicitly you can use the keyword in program. This perform statement in which program it is existed, this program. So you can write the program name. So either we can use this syntax or else we can use this syntax. So two will work for the same functionality. And here also let me write in program and program name. So let me say check no syntax errors. I'll activate. So this explanation I'll show you in the debugging mode. So this is the new program. Okay, so as of now, I kept these breakpoints in the new program. Now I'll click on execute. So it will go to the debugging mode. I'll go to desktop 3. So first, what is IT data? It is an internal table which is having initially 0 records. And this internal table is having 2 columns as we specified in the structure. Now, if I click on single step, uh, we'll see how we go to the program. Now, as of now, look at the program name. What is the program name? This one, which is ending with external sub. Now, I click on single step. And if I scroll up, see, the program name is changed. So whenever we directly came to the debugging mode, it was shown the program name as external sub, which was ended. Now you can see it went to the main program. So whenever we are executing the program with perform statement, then it will go to the form statement where it is actually existed in the main program. So it will go to the main program, and whatever the logic is existing in the form statement, that will be executed. If I execute the P name, PCT, and here chain names got assigned, and first record is inserted. And if I execute this one, see, IT data also inserted first record. Now it came back to the main new program. After adding the record into the internal table, see, again it came back to the new program. So similar way it will be work for the other two perform statements also. So if you want to reuse the perform statement, which is existed in one program, if you want to reuse into another program, then we can use external subroutine. So in external subroutine, you can see only perform statement. There is no form statement. If you see, only perform is there. There is no form. So if a program is having only perform statement or only definition of a subroutine, there is no implementation, then such type of subroutine we call it as a external subroutine. Internal subroutine means where we have definition and implementation within the same program. Such type of subroutine we call it as an internal subroutine. But extra means only definition part will be there. If you see in this program, only perform is there. There is no form. If I scroll down, there is no form. So if only perform statement is there or only definition is there, then this type of subroutine we call it as a external subroutine. Any doubts? Three records now. Questions from anyone? Okay. If no more questions, then we'll move to the next concept. So next modulation technique, we have function module. So 1 second. So, so this is one of the modulation technique, and this modulation technique we can also call it as a global modulation technique. So once if you create one function module, you can call anywhere in the SFA. Suppose if it is a include program, we can call into programs and insert function modules. If it is a subroutine, I can call into a program only. Suppose if I have a different object, I cannot able to call a subroutine. So subroutine we call it as a local modulation technique. But when it comes to function module, this is called global modulation technique, where we can call this function module into any object, either it is a smart form or it is a program, or even if it is a BAPI, wherever it requires, we can call this function module. So function modules are called global modulation technique. To create this function module, we have a specific transaction code that is SN37. Have you remembered the transaction code for include programs? Yes.
AC38.
Yes. So for include programs, we have transaction code SC38, and for subroutines, like we can use inside the function module or else we can use inside the program. So there is no specific transaction code for subroutine. But for function module, we have a transaction code SC37. So to create function module, first we need to create a function group. Always remember, before creating a function module, we have to create function group. So function group is nothing but it acts as a container for function modules. Like whenever we create any object, we are saving in a package. So package in the sense, it's like a folder where it can store all the objects which we are developing. Similar way, function group also act as a folder to store all the function modules. So one function group can hold up to 99 function modules. And to create this function group, we have a transaction code that is SC80. So function module is one of the moderation technique. This can be created using SC37 transaction code. Before we create a function module, we have to create a function group. This is a prerequisite. So before creating a function module, we need to create a function group. So function group is nothing but it is a container of all the function modules where it can store all the function modules in one place. So that is nothing but function group. This function group can be created using SE80 transaction code. Have you remember SE80 transaction code? Earlier we have used this transaction code. Do you remember this?
Yes, Neha. Yes.
Yes. So
It's
what is the
object
title
navigator.
of SE80 transaction code?
Object navigator.
Yeah, Object Navigator. And with the help of SE80 transaction code, we created one object. Have you remember that object name? I think first or second class I have explained this. I believe second one. Okay. What is a transaction code to create a package? Hey, you forgot this.
AC21.
Yes, 21.
And also there is one more transaction code,
SC80 also.
SC80. So with the help of SC80 transaction code, we can able to create packages, function groups, programs. So I told you it is like a central repository. Let's go to SC80 transaction code. So I'll close this one. See, there is a drop down. Suppose if I want to create a package, I can choose this one. Suppose if I want to create a program, I can choose this one. So right now we are discussing about function models. So before creating a function module, we need to create a function group. So I'll tell you the reason after creating this function group. So first we'll create a function group, then I'll tell you. So if I want to create a function group, give the name, set the drop down function group, and here you have to give the function group name. Like suppose if I want to create a structure, I used to specify structure name. Suppose if I want to create any program, we have to specify the program name. Similar way, here we need to specify the function group name. Okay, 0435. So give the function group, and once you give the name of the function group, press enter. If this name is already existed, then it will be show like it is already existed. Suppose if this name is not existed, then it will be give a pop-up like it is not created. Do you want to create it? Yes. And here we need to specify the short text. Function group. Choose this one. After that, click on save. Save in your TR. Now, function group is created. But after creating function group, we need to activate. Always remember, if you are creating any new object, we must be activate. Even though if you remember, whenever we created database table, we did activation. Whenever we created table type, structure, data element, even programs. So every individual object we have activated. Similar way, function group also it is an individual object. So once we created, we need to activate it. Now this function group got created, but it should be activated so that we can use this function group inside a function module. Now I'm not activating. I'll go to SC37 transaction code and I'll show you. Now I'll keep this screen as it is and go to SC37 transaction. So SC37, which is for function builder. So function builder is nothing but where we can able to create function models. So if you see the name here, function model, and here we can give the function model name. Today I'll explain a simple function model, not a complex scenario. So 0425 2025 F1. So give the function module name. After that, click on create. See, whenever I click on create, first pop-up, it is asking function group. And here it is star. Do you remember what is mean by this asterisk? With, if it shows with red color, what it indicates?
Mandatory.
Yes, mandatory. So I mentioned you whenever we create function model, like before creating function model, we need to create function group. Because whenever we are trying to create function model, it is asking the function group name in the first screen itself. So that is the reason before we come to SC37 transaction code, we have to create function group. Let me close this further. So we have to create function group in SE80 transaction code. Now this function group is created. I'll copy this function group and I'll go to SC37 transaction code. I'll give the function group name. Now I'll be the short text function module and I'll click on save. Okay, so you can ignore that warning and save. I'll check. I'll activate. Mm, okay. So let's finish one simple example. This is the function module screen. Like we are inside of this function module. And if I go to attributes tab, where it will specify all the generic information. Similar information we have seen in the table creation. If you remember, whenever we have created custom table, we have seen same tab like attributes. It stores like whatever we have given the function group name and what we have given the short text, the person created, date, package name, everything will be included in this attributes tab. And also, if you see here, three radio buttons are there under the processing type. A regular function module, remote enabled module, update. So these three are the types of function modules. So function modules are three types: regular function modules, remote enabled modules, update modules. So by default, it will be selected as regular function module. Suppose if you want to connect with external system, like other than SAP, suppose if you want to connect non-SAP system, then we have to choose a remote enabled module. Suppose if you choose remote enabled module, then this, whatever you have written, the logic with the help of this function module, that can be accessible outside of the SAP. Because some users might not be use SAP. They are having an external system. With any interface, they will be connecting to SAP system. But if they want to access the data, then we have to choose remote enabled module. And update module, uh, this will be related to, I believe, database. And we don't work on this update module. So generally we use these two. And here import is there. So this is the tab for import. So import is nothing but it is used to take all the inputs. Like in subroutine, suppose if I want to pass any input values, in the previous example, where I have passed name and city, like I have used a keyword using. In subroutine, we have three keywords, right? Using, changing, tables. Suppose if I want to pass input parameters, I have used a keyword called using. But in function module, here we don't have such type of keywords. So here we have tabs. If you want to pass any input parameters, then we have to choose import tab. Suppose if you want to pass any output parameters, we have to choose export tab. Changing will be act as input and output. In some scenarios, we can use same data medium as an input and output. So in that scenarios, we can choose this tab. So changing will be act as an input parameter and also output parameter. So tables, this is used to pass the tables, like internal tables. Exceptions. So exceptions are nothing but suppose there is a chance where we get error messages. So at that time, we can raise an exception. Suppose the data is not existing in the table, but user is trying to fetch the data. So at that time, suppose we want to specify a message to the end user. So that message we can maintain under this tab. And in subroutine, we have written the implementation part in between form and end form. If you remember, let me go to program. Suppose this is the perform statement where I'm defining. Suppose if I want to write the logic, I need to double click on the perform name so that it will be create a block where I can able to write the logic. Similar way, in function module, we can able to write the logic by using the source code tab. So in this tab, we can able to write the logic in between function and function. Like subroutine, we have form and end form. In subroutine, we have form and form. For function module, we have function and function. Like function module name and function. Within this end function, we need to write the logic. Like it act as a block, function and function. Now, I'll take a simple example. Like I'll add two numbers and I'll display it. Or else, okay, let me take, instead of adding two numbers, um, let's fetch a single record from VBAK table. I'll open the table. Not VBAK, it's 11. VBAK. So in VBAK, I'll take single record and I'll display the output based on the sales document number. Suppose, let me execute everything. If I execute, all the sales documents are displayed. Now I'll take 12. So I'm giving the input sales document 12. So only one single record is displayed. Similar way, I'll achieve this one with the help of function module. So I'll go to, so here what I have given my input, I gave the input as 12. So where I have entered this 12 number in the sales document column. So this is sales document. So my input is sales document. And if I execute this one, it is displaying single record. So which data medium I should declare now for single record? Or which data medium has the capability to hold a single record? Any idea?
Parameter.
Parameter single value. See, we have various data mediums which can hold the data, like parameters, variables. These two will be hold only single value, like 12 or this date or time, single individual values. I can say single value, not this entire record. So till now, what are the different data mediums we learned? Can you explain, any one of you? Yes, parameters we have used, variables we have used. Other than these two,
Select options.
can you say loudly?
Select options.
Select options. Okay. Then
Can you ask the question once again, please?
which types of data mediums we have used till now. So data mediums are nothing but which can hold the data.
Area, internal table, variables, parameters, select options.
Yes, internal tables, work areas we have used. So what is meant by internal table?
It will hold the multiple records.
What about work area?
It will hold a single record.
Now, if you see how many records are displaying on the screen.
Single record.
So if it is a single record, which type of data medium I can use?
But yeah,
Yes, work area. So always remember, depends on the requirement, we'll use the various data mediums. If it is a single value, then we can use variable. If it is holding multiple records, remember, value is different, record is different. In one record, it can be have multiple values. If you see, this is one record, but multiple values are there, like sales document, creation date, time, creation by. So always remember, based on the requirement, we have to choose the data type or data medium. So in this scenario, I need, like, I'm providing one input, and based on my input, I'm fetching single record. So my input is nothing but sales document number, and output is nothing but where I can able to see single record of this table, VBAK table. Okay. And here, if you see, all the columns are visible, like sales document, creation date, all the fields. Suppose if I scroll here and or if I scroll like this, how many columns are there? Those all will be displayed. So how the structure or how the work area will be created? Any idea? See, I'm giving the input 12, and if I click on execute, how the system will be understand, like it has to show all the columns or only few columns. How the system will be recognize these things?
Based on structure.
Yes, based on structure. So in the first session, I think internal table concept I have explained. Structure can be having multiple fields, like all the fields from a table or specific fields from a table. If it is all fields from a table, then we have to specify table name. Suppose if we have a specific fields, then we have to create structure either locally or globally. If it is locally, in between begin of end of, we need to specify the field names. If it is globally, in S11 transaction code, we can specify. And if you see in the screen, it is displaying all the fields. So if it is all the fields, which type of structure I have to declare? I need to take the table name. See, I want to display all the fields data. So if it is all the fields, always remember we have to give the table name. If it is a specific fields, because in this table, how many fields are there? Let's see, 246 fields are there. Earlier, I used to create a structure with these fields. If you remember, Veblen, ERDAT, we type we have taken, and I remember this one, AUART. Like 4 or 5 fields data, I have fetched from this database table with the help of structure. Let's show you a program so that you will understand. Let me pause this. Hmm. Go to- I think in internal table I have explained. Let me search internal table. So in this internal table, if you see, this is a structure. Based on this structure, like we have created this internal table based on this structure. So how many fields I have specified within this structure, those many columns will be created. Like internal table is nothing but it's like a combination of rows and columns. But how the system will be recognized? I need to specify only 5 columns or 10 columns. So that is depends on the structure. In the structure, if your fields are 5, it will be create 5 columns. As you already know, field in the sense column, record in the sense row. So if you have declared 5 fields, it will be create 5 columns. If you have declared 10 fields, it will be create 10 columns. Suppose if you want to create all the columns from the database table. So this is the second syntax. If you see, first syntax will be fetch only specific fields from the database table. And second internal table, if you see ITKNA1 is there. So this is a syntax with all the fields from the database table. So here I'm giving KNA1 table name. And if you see, this is a structure. In this structure also I have given same table name. So always remember, if you want to fetch all the fields, then you have to specify the table name, or else you need to create a structure locally or globally. This you should not forget. This is the basic one. Always remember. So in this scenario, my input is sales document. So sales document, here I'll pass it as like import parameter IM. Let me take a weblet. So sales document field name is VBL. So same name I'm taking. So how do we create a parameter? Like parameter type. We have parameter here. What they write. Let me take any recent programs. Is it having parameter? Not there. So it's not there. Okay, let it be. Mm, So let me go to this program. Suppose if it is a variable, how we are defining variable name, type, its data type we are giving. Like if it is an integer, we are giving type as integer. Or if it is a string, we are defining like string. Similar way, for parameter also we used to define same way. So here we need to select the type. So to select the type, go to F4 help and here choose it as type. So type ref to we use in object oriented ABAP. So as of now, you can ignore the second option. We don't use it now. If you see here, the name is object reference. So choose type. So parameter type. Type after what we have to give. What is the data type? Suppose if you are taking from the table name, we can specify the table name field. I'm fetching for a program, but I'm not getting. So we have here. So there. Yeah, let it be. So here we need to specify associated type is nothing but if you are taking any character type or integer type that you can specify. Or else if you are fetching from a table, you need to specify its data element. So this sales document, I'm going to fetch from VBAK table. So here I can specify data element. Or else we can give table name hyphen field name. Like whenever we used to create a structure, we used to give either table name hyphen field name or else we can give data element, right? Similar way, here also we need to specify. So here VBELN VA. So this is the data element for VBNN field. Suppose if you want to pass any default value, you can pass it here. If you want to pass any default value, we can pass it here.